Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. We are fully loaded with the old fat girl, the VFR 800. A massive bag at the back, tank bag in front of me, but we still hit the twisties. The front end feel is not the same, but it's still fun. So I hope you're enjoying this ride, guys. I'm trying to review this bike. I've been riding VFRs for 15 years now. This is number 4. This is number 4. Why did I choose the gentleman sports bike? Well, because it does everything good enough, you know. It does the twisties. It's narrow enough to commute on it in the city. It's also plenty fast with 109 horsepower. I mean, this was on the dyno one. On the rear wheel it was only 90, but it's more than enough. It's sporty but it's comfortable at the same time. It's just a lovely package. Got heated grips on, and you can really cross Australia on this one if you really wanted to. Such a great machine. The engine is bulletproof. Mine's got 123,000 kilometers. Doesn't use a drip of oil. Starts always first time. Doesn't smoke when you rev it up. It's just fantastic. If I had to choose just one bike from my fleet, it probably would be this one, because it's just a good package as it is. The black is not the best color for it probably, but I got this in the lower range of in terms of the prices, so I didn't really choose a color. But yeah, this is a 2007, just like the GS 500, and it's done a fair bit of kilometers already, but still amazing. The black color is kind of hiding the shape, so that's why it's probably not ideal. And also in Australia, because we have so much sun, about 300 days a year, that black heats up really quickly, so it's probably not the best choice. And here we go. That's when it hits the VTAC, gets into the power, and it really gets going. It's okay. The missus is unhappy with my riding style, hitting my back. Oh, that was a completely fine overtake. I know this road like my hand. Commute on it 5 days a week, so I know every bend. Granted, there can be a bush turkey or an oil spill or anything, but as long as you overtake on the right spot, it should be all good. Yeah, I got Michelin Pilot RS tires on, and it's a fantastic tire. It lasts at least 10,000 Ks. Dual compound, really soft on the side, and hard enough in the middle to do the Ks. I love this tire. I tried all the Michelin range, like started with the Pilot 2, 3, 4, 5, Pilot Power Cup, and also now the RS. I love these tires. They last long, give a good grip. Yeah, look at the view. We've got a beautiful sunny day. Really like about this bike, the V4 is just, if you can't buy an RS V4, an Aprilia RS V4, then I think this is the way to go, because I paid for this bike, what, $3,700. It's super cheap. Okay, high mileage, but it doesn't matter because it's a Honda. So if you can't afford an RS V4 for like 20 grand second hand, and probably 40 new, I'm talking Australian dollars here, and this is a way to get into the V4 riding. V4 is great because you have, again, the two characteristics. You have the bubbly cruiser style of riding in the lower revs, but once the second pair of valves open and the bike takes off at 6,800, it just becomes a different animal, and you can drive it all the way to 12,500, which is not possible on a cruiser. And it does 250 top speed easily. So yeah, this is a cheaper way to get into the V4 game. Twisties begin again. I love this road. The weather is nice, it's such a lovely ride. And I never ride it on the weekend because it's packed. It's probably similar story everywhere in the world. If you're riding on a weekend, it's full of people and cars and cyclists and all this shit. But midweek is just fine. and I'm always riding it midweek. Still a little bit of traffic, but it's not too bad. I can't go balls to the walls because she freaks out behind me. But you know, you can still make the road or the ride challenging. For example, right now I'm just holding the bike with one hand, I mean the handlebars, and you can try to go through the twisties a little bit slower just by one hand, counter steering. It's quite a good task or exercise to do. I always try to find some challenge in the ride. It doesn't necessarily have to be speed. It can be any other riding style change, and then it's still interesting. Of course, if you want to use the potential of this bike, you still have to go to the racetrack or ride in Germany or whatever. Because in this country they're just super strict, and I can't afford to lose my license, because then I can't commute to work, and that would be the end of story. So it is what it is. You just hang on to the rules as much as you can and just be smart about it. I can give you one tip, guys, if you are like kind of beginnerish motorcyclist or you don't have too many Ks under your belt. Of course, road safety is important, and you have to know what your bike can do and how to stay on the safe side. Just know the road. Know the road exactly, every piece of it. Many people don't ride if it rains or it's a bit too dark, or I don't know. When the conditions are not ideal, I still ride. I still go 20 k's under the speed limit. You learn the corners. You go through, you see different patches, you see different grip, and all those experiences get stored in your internal hard drive, you know. It all makes you a better rider. The more you know the road, the more you can utilize it, and you can always change your riding style if it rains, if it's a bit windier, or if it's a bit colder and you don't have the same grip. That's why I always ride. That's why I don't have a car. It's just bikes, always on bikes. You know, across the road, or for example here you see, I know in this corner you have the gravel. So if you don't know all this, then just stay on the limited. It's always the safer way to go. That was a typical situation where it's good if you go a little bit slower. That dude did the U-turn and I was just slow enough to stop. And another thing I wanted to mention is, if you are a beginner rider, there is a very, very important rule that is more important than anything else. Is what is a yes and what is a no. If you are in a situation, for example, let's look at an overtake. If you aren't sure if that overtake is safe, then it's a no. And this is the same for me after years and years of riding. I've ridden probably 250,000 kilometers in my life already, but that rule is still the same. If you're unsure, or there is a tiny little bit of doubt about any maneuver, whatever you plan to do, that's a no. That's a no, and that's it. If there is a single hint of doubt, it's a no. And that way, with this simple rule, you can stay alive and you can stay pretty safe. I think motorcycling requires quite a strong personality and quite a good decision making. So if you start riding, you gain on this. It's quite a different brain work that you got to do compared to riding a car. So it is. It is a good way to train your decision making as well. It's not just a physical activity, it's a psychological activity and training as well. When you have to make clear decisions in a best moment, and if you know that's good to go, you can do it, your bike can do it, the conditions are right, you go for it. There's no hesitation. Twist the throttle and go and do it. But if you have just a little bit of unsure thoughts in your mind, then just don't do it. I think that's the most important rule. That's how I ride, and I recommend to all of you guys who are beginners or not very experienced riders, that's how you should ride as well. Alright, from here on it's gonna be straight, so I'm gonna talk to you guys later. See ya. It's my VFR 800. This is a 2007 model. It's currently got a lot of kilometers. So it's on a trip. Let's switch it. So 25,000, but one character is missing, so it's 125,000 kilometers. Believe it or not, it's still going well. The lights are not faded. I mean the plastic on it outside. Yeah, the screen lost a little bit of shine, but come on, it's so many Ks, it's not surprising. Here you can see it's a little bit on one side, the sun a little bit damaged it. Alright, also on this bike I've got a Ventura rack. I really like that company because you can turn it around if you want to just take it out of this, spin the whole thing around, and then this part looks this way, just points forward over the passenger seat, and you can bring the center of gravity closer to the middle of the bike, which makes it more stable. So if you're riding alone, it's a really good option. Yeah, so it's very handy to have that rack. In Australia, people respect each other's property, so with the soft bag. I know it's in some countries it's not an option because everybody can open it, just a ziplock. So, but here is fine. You can leave anything on a bike, and for this environment it works fine. It's just great. So, what modifications did I do on this one? I got the heated grips. It's an older Oxford unit. I added upgraded bulbs. So it's a Philips, I think, and it's got this bluish light, almost like a xenon type of thing, and it's really bright. So it's a good one, and it's just a easy swap, and you don't have to put LEDs or wire xenon lights. It's really good. I also added a K&N air filter under the tank, and the exhaust is a modified one. So this is as you can see, I just call it the machine gun exhaust. It's baffled, as you can tell, so I could take these out, these baffles, the middle ones, and then I would have 4 pipes open, because it's too obnoxious with 4 open. So yeah, it was made by an Aussie dude who was a professional welder, and he just opened up a stock exhaust, got half of the guts out, and welded this stainless steel end on it, which I think it's really stealthy looking. It's really cool. I like it a lot. And I'm gonna show you the sound of it. That's what I'm talking about. Bubbles around like a V8 supercar. See the bluish light of the bulb. The good thing about keeping the standard pipes is it's got this metal protective shield, so if you put soft bags on the side, it doesn't burn it. And also here, if you have an aftermarket pipe, link pipe here, you kind of burn your boots, but the protected shield is still on it, so that's a great thing to have. It's got dual combined brake system. I know many people hate it. It's not ideal for the track use or anything, but on the road it can be handy, I think. Alright, let's rev the baby up for you a little bit so you hear the machine gun. VFR without an exhaust is just no point to me. Alright, switch it off. Yeah, it's great. What I love about this bike, also the single-sided swing arm, I think it's a work of art. And no, not Ducati started it. It was Honda. with the RC30, and the reason was the Superbike World Championship, to allow the teams a quick tire change or wheel change. So it's coming from that time. But yeah, definitely Ducati does make nice, and now other companies, also Kawasaki and Honda, they all make nice single-sided swing arms. I like this feature. It just cleans the bike up really nicely. So this bike has side-mounted radiators, which is a bit tricky if you lay it down. You can damage them easily, and they're not cheap. I swapped the brakes to EBC brakes. So that's an English manufacturer. The original brakes, they just got used up after more than 100,000 kilometers. I like these EBC brakes. They're nice and thick, and they work fine. Yeah. As I said, I got the Michelin Power RS tires, soft compound on the side and harder in the middle. Yeah, what else can I say? I said, I think pretty much everything during the ride. Seat has been recovered because that was torn. So that's originally, I think it comes with a artificial leather. This is a real leather seat. Tank protector. Yeah. So that's my other baby from the fleet. I hope you enjoyed this review, guys, and consider subscribing if you like what I'm doing. I wanted to mention is the tank, 22 liters. It's like a 5.5 liter on 100 k's. So you can do, even on this bike, you can do really tight, but you can do 400 kilometers. I usually put fuel in after like 350, and that's fine. Yeah. Alright. Take care, guys, and hope you enjoyed this review. Give a thumbs up if you did. And I'm gonna see you later in the next one.